Welcome to Truth by Billie Beene. Today's date, December 9, 2025. Time in Texas about 3 p.m. Apparently, we've gone hot today in Venezuela plus. So let's get started. We have information coming out that President Trump also plans to strike Venezuela, Colombia, and Mexico, and that strikes are indeed taking place inside Venezuela, and that if you see them on video, understand they occurred about 15 minutes before the video you're seeing. Daily Mail reports their intel that President Trump also planned to hit Colombia and Mexico. Now we know we have about 11 warships, plus a strike carrier group, Gerald Ford in the Caribbean. Plus, we've been seeing off of the Mexico warships also being moved. And then we had Sunday, Peru's Congress okaying the movement of U.S. military and troops across Peru. So this will go directly into Colombia, which we understand now is also on the hit list, into Venezuela. It's believed that the pre-positioning of U.S. military off in the Pacific near California will also hit Mexico. So that's going on. And Mexico is viewed by the U.S. as being the primary trafficking hub for drugs, heroin, cocaine, fentanyl. So that's going on. And we understand that in Venezuela, Maria Machado, who won the Nobel Peace Prize recently, is the U.S. pick to replace Maduro after the U.S. brings about regime change. She has been flown out of Venezuela. The U.S. sent a plane into Venezuela, returning Venezuelan illegals, and picked Maria up. This happened in the last 24 hours. There's also a Notam, a no-fly area, about 200 miles long, off of the U.S. East Coast, bordering Georgia and Florida. That was put in place today. We understand in Puerto Rico that we had additional troops positioned there, and that Puerto Rico has been, so we have 7,000 U.S. military troops who have been actively engaged in an exercise, as we're seeing off of the U.S. East Coast. So that's going on. And we have that F-18s today are flying very slow and low along the coastline with Venezuela inside their international waters. It's believed the F-18s are there to cover and protect the ongoing South Caribbean Ocean movement of U.S. ships. So that's going on. It's also coming out. The reason President Trump especially is hitting Venezuela does have to do with drugs and trafficking. Primarily, it has to do with the coup that took place in the U.S. during the presidential election of 2020. To be hit hard inside Venezuela is also Russia, China, Iran. Additional nations who will also be hit hard: Serbia, Cuba, Italy. plus all the nations that were involved in the coup in the U.S. of 2020. So that, and this also includes the UK. So it'll be interesting to see how the U.S. moves against the UK. So that's going on. And we have this. Strikes are ongoing now, we understand, inside Venezuela. And also, this is coming out, the deep state Rothschilds working through Pam Bondi, the head of the DOJ, and Rick Grenell, President Trump's envoy to Venezuela, have been talking to President Trump to get a good deal for the Rothschilds inside Venezuela, an oil deal through the Rothschild-owned Chevron oil company. So these two people have outed themselves. Look for replacements very soon. And we had this morning traders who knew what was going to happen today in silver, with silver going up to 59 plus. And we have this. We know today Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and Dan Kane, head of the Joint Chiefs, gave information to the G8 group in Congress. When this occurs, this information provided to Congress is not a discussion. It is a simple revealing by the U.S. military to Congress of what the U.S. military is going to do. So that's going on. That happened today. And we have this. Since September, the U.S. military has hit 87 boats in the Pacific and the South Caribbean area. And this is interesting. President Trump gave a pardon to the former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who was serving a 20-year prison term inside the U.S. for drugs. It has come out, a special strong source was Roger Stone to President Trump, that Hernandez had been unfairly charged and judged for political reasons. And we understand Barack Obama is trying to get out of the U.S. So all these things are going on. It's good to be in prayer for America, President Trump, the U.S. military, and world peace. I love you, and I'll see you soon.